Let's have a little fun. Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun. Over by the gate, Lord, here she comes. Basket full of chicken and a big old jug of sweet tea. What's up, guys? Matt McCoy, country song teacher. One of the best ways you can get better at guitar is learn 2 different ways to play the same song. That's what we're going to do with this video, so stick around. We're going to start out, both of the times we're going to use 3 chords. The way I play it in the Kenny Chesney favorite songbook, I'll show second. That's using the E, A, and D chord. How I'm going to play it first is the G, C, and D chord. So again, if you want to get better at your guitar playing, this is a great way to do it. Capo, the 2nd fret, to play it the same key that Kenny does. It's going to use these 3 chords. These are probably 3 of the easiest chords to play, in my opinion. Locking the 2 bottom strings of the 3rd fret, relative to the capo. The G is 5th and 6th, all 6. When I say a C, you're simply going to slide both fingers down, strum the bottom 5. When I say a D, take your 1st finger to the 3rd string, bottom 4. So again, you're just moving your top fingers. G, C, D, G, C, D. All right, I'm going to start out with just the strumming. We're going to go just down strums at first to get that timing down. Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun. Over by the gate, Lordy, here she comes with a, go to C, basket full of chicken and big old jug of sweet tea. If you're hanging on a G, I make a little room and she climbs right up. Over by the gate, open up the throttle, stir a little dust. C, look at her face, she ain't a fool indeed. Me, she thinks my track. So again, all you do the whole time is G, down to C, back to G, then to C, then finish out that D. I'm working on a 3-chord country songbook coming out here probably 2 weeks. This is going to be one of the songs in it. I love 3-chord songs. Y'all know most of my songs are 4-chord songs, G, C, E minor, D. You gotta love the 3-chord. This one's super easy. She thinks my track, G, sexy, D. It really turns her on like G. You always staring at me, D, while I'm chugging along. See, she likes the way it's pulling when it's teeing up the lane. She's even kinda crazy about my farmer's tan. She's the only one who really understands what gets me. She thinks my tractor's sexy. So I always say, guys, you want to build your strumming. Anytime you're learning a song, find out once you get the lyrics down, what are the chords, what are the order of the chords, and then what's the timing that you play each chord. So still to this day, I've been playing for 20-some years. I start out with just down strums. I'm listening for that timing. Once I get comfortable with the timing, I would do this strumming pattern. Pluck, down, up, down, up, pluck, down, up, down, up. Here she comes, basket full of chicken and a big old jug of sweet tea. So that's kind of the strumming pattern I'm using. Pluck, again, the top 1 or 2 strings. Pluck, down, up, pluck, down, up, pluck, down, up, pluck, down. Remember, guys, on the up strum too, like for example on the G chord, even though you're strumming all 6 strings down, you're always just flipping the bottom 2 or 3 strings with an up strum. A lot of students I'll see, they think you come up the same amount of strings you come down. That's not true. All an up strum for is a little pro tip. The only thing you can use an up strum, to be honest, most of the time, is just to keep the flow and the rhythm of the song. It kind of just keeps it lingering until you get to the next chord. Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun. Over by the gate, over here she comes. Basket full of chicken and a big old jug of sweet tea. Look at her face, she ain't a fool to me. She thinks my track is sexy, it really turns her on. She's always staring at me while I'm chugging along. She likes the way it's pulling when it's teeling up the lane. She's even kinda crazy about my farmer's tan. there, once you get going with the flow, you start with down strums, you're listening for the timing, and the chorus, to be honest with you, the chorus is a little tricky with this one. It's a lot of chord changes. So if you're a beginner, again, just listen for it and just do down strums. So that's method number 1. So now let's switch over here. Method number 2, and this is the one I use in my Kenny Chesney favorite songbook. If you don't have that yet, CountrySongTeacher.com. So it's no capo. It's going to use 3 chords: an A chord. There's a bunch of different ways I play an A chord. You can play the 2 middle strings from the bottom 5. Sometimes I'll have my ring finger on the 2nd string and then press the 2 middle string like that. Sometimes I'll do the 3rd, 5th, and 4th, cram all my fingers together in the 2nd fret like that. So I'll play 3. Literally, I'll play the A chord 3 different ways, kind of how I'm going into it. So there's the A chord, a D chord, 3rd and bottom and 2nd. And then an E chord, 3rd, 5th, and 4th. All 6. Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun. Over by the gate, Lord, here she comes. Deep, asking for a chicken and a big old jug of sweet tea. I make a little room and she climbs right up. Open up the bottle, stir a little dust. Look at her face, she ain't sexy. By the way, when you play a song, notice how I'm still playing it in the same key. Because if I'm playing A, D, and E, that's the exact same as putting a capo on the 2nd fret and playing G, C, and D. It's what's called transposing. So you're just doing, when you use the capo, no capo, it's just transposing. You're playing the same key. So for example, when I start with this A chord, that means it's in the key of A. The root note, the first note you play is A. So that's going to be in the key of A. Well, people, here, listen to that. Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun. That's an A chord. Okay? When you play a G, anytime you put this capo on a fret, you're raising it up half a step. So 1/2, 2/2 is a whole. And if I play a G first, that's the same. It's a G raised up 2/2 steps or 1 whole step. Plowing these fields in the... See, now you're back to, it's still in the key of A, even though I'm playing a G chord first because the capo is 2nd fret. That might be a little over some of y'all's heads. I talk about that in my tips and tricks course. Because watch this, I'll play it, I'll start with the G, then I'll take the capo off and go to A, and you know the same sound. Watch this. Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun. Over by the gate, Lordy, here she comes. So, in that chorus, she ain't attractive, sexy. She turns you on my day. She's always staring at me while I'm chugging along. D. She likes the way it's pouring when it's teeling up the lane. She's even kind of crazy about my father's taste. She's the only one who really understands what gets me. Sexy. By the way, a lot of people ask me what I'm doing sometimes. For example, if I play a D chord, when I have to sit on a D chord, I want to do what's called musical dimension. Again, I go over this in my tips and tricks course. If you don't have that, CountrySongTeacher.com. The tips and tricks course is to make your guitar playing a little more advanced. If you're just playing chords and regular strumming patterns, it's things you can throw in between chords while you're playing different things to kind of make you sound more advanced. That's why I made that course. So for example, if I'm sitting on a D chord to give it what's called musical dimension, sometimes I'll take my middle finger off. I'll take a finger on and off a certain chord, like I said, instead of just hammering away the same chord. So that's what's called musical dimension. Guys, check out some of my resources. The Kenny Chesney's favorite songbooks over there at CountrySongTeacher.com. I've got beginner guitar courses, like I said, the tips and tricks course, if you want to kind of take your guitar to the next level, that kind of thing. All of it's over at CountrySongTeacher.com. And please do me a favor, make sure if you're still watching that video, to hit that like button. That means a lot for that YouTube algorithm. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. God bless you.